Hello everyone, so this time we are gonna talk about Jenos, the new support champion, and he is just awesome in every way possible. I know I promised a healing pick video, but we have to do Jenos first. I hope you all understand, and don't worry, I will try to upload the pick one as soon as possible. Now coming back to Jenos, his healing is not that great, but you can still do some decent amount of healing if you choose to do so. For me, he's not a healer but a support champion who can heal his teammates or deal a lot of damage if needed. You can even flank with him, but I won't suggest doing that on your own. We will discuss about all these things later in the video, but first let's jump into the loadout that I think is good if you want to play him as a support or even if you want to play him as a solo healer. So as you can see, we have retrograde at level 4, which is gonna reduce your astral mark cooldown by 2 seconds, and then we have relativity at level 4, which is gonna heal you whenever you apply your astral mark on your teammate. It's just to increase your survivability because you will be in the fight while healing your teammates. See, here's the thing, you don't wanna play him like other supports, sitting in the backline and spamming heals, because this is not the right way to play him. He deals a lot of damage, but it's only effective in short to medium ranges, so you have to stay in that range to be effective as a support. This means you will be in the line of fire most of the time, which is why this card is very important, because Jenos does not have any way to heal himself like other supports in the game. Now next up we have Astral Cycle at level 2. This is just gonna increase your astral mark duration by 1 second. Nothing special, but sometimes that 1 second is all you need to win a fight. Next one is Light Years at level 1, which is gonna increase your range of astral mark by 10%, which is good. I mean, if you're gonna stay near your teammates, you don't really need this one, but it's helpful in some situations. Now the last card is just to fill up the space, which is Inner Peace at level 1. It's gonna reduce the cooldown of your Wide Grip by 1 second. Now Wide Grip is really powerful if you have a coordinated team, but in a public match you are hardly gonna get any value out of it. But I think in higher MMR people will take advantage of it, so that's why I'm using this card, but you can use anything instead of this one. Now the most important thing, which legendary is the best one for him? I would say all three are pretty good, but Luminary is the best one because other two can be easily countered by in-game items like Celestial Touch can be countered by Cauterize, and the default one can be countered by Resilience very easily, which makes them completely useless in late games. Yes, you can say that Luminary can be countered too by Haven or Blast Shield, but that is not the case here. Let's take Blast Shield. The damage reduction provided by it is 7% at level 1, 14% at level 2 and 21% at level 3. So by picking Luminary, which will give you and anyone who is affected by Astral Mark 15% more damage, you are basically countering Blast Shield or Haven up to level 2. Now if the other team decided to go for level 3 of Haven or Blast Shield, they will have to spend over 900 credits, which in return will help your team anyway, as they won't have enough credit to buy other important things like Cauterize or Wrecker. With this loadout, you can keep the astral mark on 2 of your teammates at the same time. That means 3 players on your team are doing 15% more damage during the match. So these are my reasons, but that does not mean that you cannot pick the other 2 cards. Like Celestial Touch is very good with this loadout if you are a solo healer on your team. But like I said before, Luminary is the best one for him, so anyway, let's talk about how to play him in the best way possible. As from his kit, we can already see he deals 120 damage every 0.13 seconds, so yep, that's a lot of damage for a support champion, which is why some people are saying he's too overpowered, because he's dealing the same amount of damage as a Victor or a Tyra, which is correct in a way. I mean, yeah, a support champion should not be dealing the same amount of damage as a damage champion, but that does not make him overpowered. Like, if he is overpowered, then Victor and Tyra are overpowered too. Would you say that they are overpowered? Now before rushing into the comment section to say, oh, you don't know anything about this game, just hear me out a bit. He is just a different kind of support. He heals for 250 HP every second for 10 seconds, and at most you can heal up to 2 teammates, which is not overpowered. You know why Victor, Tyra or Jenos are not overpowered? Here is an example. take Jenos versus Androxys. Now you can do Victor versus Cassie or Tyra versus Andro too. The result of the thing that I want to say will be the same. But for this, let's stick to Jenos versus Andro. Imagine both of them have cover, and Jenos is pre-firing that corner, but Andro peeks from the cover and gives Jenos a headshot, then he comes back to the cover. Andro will just keep on repeating this step until Jenos is dead or low on HP, after which he can chase him down if he wants to. Now this is same for Tyra and Victor too. They need a line of fire for a longer duration to kill someone, while Cassie and Andro can just shoulder peek you all day long. So he's not overpowered as a champion, but yes, you can say he's overpowered as a support champion, which may be true. I don't know. The thing is, he's really easy to play and have a low skill ceiling. Like if Andro misses 2 or 3 of his shots, he's basically dead in a 1v1 against Jenos. On the other hand, Jenos can miss millions of his shots and still win most of his fights. I think we wasted a lot of time on this, but let me know what do you guys think. Is he overpowered or not? Now coming back to his skills, we already know about the Astral Mark, which heals your teammates as I have stated before. You can just mark anyone before the fight begins, like your damage carry to give him that extra 15% damage, or even your tank because he's going mid and we all know what happens on mid. Now it can be applied through walls, which is overpowered. So no matter how badly your team is positioned, you can still heal them, and if they are out of reach, then simply use Stellar Wind to get close to them and help them. The last ability he have is Wide Grip, which will lift your enemy up into the air while dealing 150 damage per second for 2.5 seconds. But the enemy can use his movement abilities, like Andro can dash out of it or Makoa can shell spin out of it. So if their movement abilities are on cooldown, then they are stuck in the air. Now if your teammate is coordinated, then it's a great tool to just take out 1% immediately. But in a public match, most of the time people won't coordinate properly, so I just use it to stall someone who is trying to chase me down when I'm on low HP, which is not the best way to use it, but it's not the worst. You can just hold him up in the air and run away. The problem is the enemy can still shoot while they are stuck in the Wide Grip, and you cannot shoot while you are using this ability. So if your teammates are not shooting him down, he is just gonna shoot you down. Lastly, we'll have to talk about his ultimate, which we all know he stole it from Goku. Now it's a beam of energy which goes through walls, and the charge time is pretty long, so always use it from behind walls. It's gonna deal 2400 damage, which can take out most of the champions in the game. Oh my god, it's so overpowered. Nope, it's super easy to dodge. You will see a bright red beam of light, so just use your WASD and move out of the way. But it can wipe out a team if you combine it with Convergence. Now that's overpowered. During his ultimate, you cannot move or change the direction of attacks, so that's why it's super easy to dodge. Most of the players that are picking Jenos are completely forgetting that he's a support champion, so please heal your teammates. And secondly, if you are running him as a solo healer, then play a bit defensively and never flank alone. I know he can flank, but you need someone with you so that you can heal yourself by giving him that Astral Mark. Just ask your teammates who is going for a flank and then just stick with him. Always remember, he does not have any kind of self heals. Yeah, he have that lifesteal card, but the Cauterize is just too strong. It's gonna completely counter that. Jenos is a really good support, but he is even greater if you stay with your team. There is nothing more to him, just shoot anyone you see and heal your teammates who are in your range. You can even use your Astral Mark just to buff someone's damage, like when you know your Drogos is going to launch his salvo, just give him that mark. He is really good for a newer player or someone who is playing support for the first time, or for someone who wants to play as a damage while supporting his team. Now for the items, I would go for Chronos up to level 2 just to reduce the cooldown of my Astral Mark, and then Cauterize up to level 3 because his rate of fire is pretty high, which makes him a really good Cauterize spreader. Now if you guys have any more questions, let me know in the comment section. On that note, I will take my leave and see you all in the next one.